What is going on, guys? Ed Bandicoot 101 here, and this is a pretty interesting video on a topic that I've personally never tackled before. This is a video on whether PhysX cards are worth it in modern gaming. So, as many of you know, Nvidia has a ability in their graphics card called PhysX, which means things in games like Arkham Knight, on synthetic benchmarks like 3D Mark, Firestrike and Fluid Mark, your computer can take advantage of a PhysX engine and actually calculate how things are going to fall, how fluid works, how dynamic smoke works, so it actually looks real and you can interact with fluid and things like that in the game. So that's called PhysX. And Nvidia actually has this integrated onto their cards. So if you have a game that supports PhysX like I think Battlefield 4 does, Batman does, a few others like that, I'm not sure if Battlefield does actually, but I know Batman Arkham Knight does and a few others. A very few games do, but the games that do can take advantage of Nvidia PhysX. And if you have an Nvidia card in your system, the PhysX will process better. And in the Nvidia menu, you can select use my GTX 1080, for example, to run PhysX. However, another option to run PhysX is if you have a spare card lying around, like I do at the moment, which happens to be the MSI GeForce GTX 750 Ti. You can actually, it's the Twin Frozer edition, as you can see. You can actually use a secondary card in another PCIe slot. Instead of using it in SLI, you can dedicate it to PhysX in the Nvidia menu. So I can select this card, put it in either of the other spare PCIe slots I've got, and use it as a dedicated PhysX card for better scores in benchmarks, and also to improve on things like frame rates in games like Batman Arkham Knight or Arkham City, which use smoke effects and things like that. But I've tested this, so what you do is you just plug it in, and luckily, the reason this is a good card pairing is because you want a card that's about a quarter of as powerful, if a little less than that. So at full load, while the GTX 1080 is working its arse off, this will use about 60 to 70% of its power to process PhysX. So it's a good sweet spot card that doesn't require an extra power connector to do that, which is why I've got the MSI version here. However, very few games can take advantage of this, as I previously mentioned. I think there's a list of about 50 games that can, and most of them aren't that popular. I think Warframe and a couple others are quite popular. Most of them aren't games that, AAA titles in the current gen anyway. So unless you really do enjoy playing the current Batman game or a few others, have a look at the list. I'll have a link in the description below to the list of games that support PhysX. But unless you have that, there's not much point. So what sort of performance benefits do you get? Having tested this on Fluid Mark, I haven't got any PhysX ready games at the moment installed on my PC, so I tested it on Fluid Mark, which is a benchmarking software that is able to use a dedicated GPU to test PhysX, like Batman would be if you loaded the game up. With this installed, I saw 138 frames per second on Fluid Mark at the settings I picked, which were like Ultra, Max Anti-Aliasing, 1440p, as many physics processing units as you could have, capped it completely, and about 138 frames a second with this as my PhysX processing card. Without it, with just a single 1080, with the 1080 processing PhysX, we dropped to about 120, so that is 18 frames a second, roughly speaking about 10 to 15% performance improvement by having a PhysX GPU. Now, you've also got to think about things like, is that 15% worth it when you're going to be consuming 75 watts of extra power, roughly 60 to 70 watts of extra power, by having this installed in your system at peak load when it's under use, and also you're going to be using up more motherboard space, power from your motherboard, which may improve stability on overclocks on the 1080. There's a lot of other things that could come into play with using a PhysX card. Obviously, you also have to have a motherboard that supports two graphics cards, or at least two PCIe X16 lanes, preferably Gen 3, obviously, for better draw call abilities. But you have to actually have enough space in your system, a big enough power supply to cope with it. Luckily, this is quite a low power card, which is why I picked it. And personally, I think the aesthetics of having two cards that are mismatched doesn't look very nice. So this is why I'm not going to have it in my rig personally. Also, there are a lot of PhysX games out there, so it's pretty damn pointless. But it's nice to know if you have got a card like this lying around, or if you've got one second hand and you don't need the money just by selling it, you can actually shove it in your system and use it as a dedicated PhysX processing unit, which is pretty interesting. Obviously, not a lot of games that can take advantage of it. It's a bit pointless. But it's nice to think that you can get a 10% performance boost by shoving an old card like this in your system that was a budget at the time and is actually going to still be used today to improve the performance of your rig. Anyway, I couldn't get it to work on 3D Mark Firestrike. I played around with all the Nvidia settings, drivers are fully up to date, all of that stuff. I think it might be because I have my 1080 installed in a Gen 3 8X lane and this installed in a Gen 3 16X lane. That could be an issue. And yes, I do have my 1080 currently installed in a Gen 3 8X lane. sheerly because it looks nicest in that position, and it's about 1% performance degradation by having it in that. So who cares? So yeah, so really, it's not really worth doing unless you've got it lying around and you haven't got another system to put it in. I'm personally going to be building another budget system and doing a £100 computer build, believe it or not. So I got this for 50 quid, and I'm going to be doing this with a 35 band PC I bought off of eBay, second-hand dual core, you know, 2 gigs of RAM. It's going to be pretty interesting seeing what we can actually do with this card in a budget system for under £100. But anyway, I digress. Don't bother getting a PhysX card if you haven't got one, unless all you play is Batman Arkham Knight or another PhysX enabled title like the original Mirror's Edge, because loads of people are still playing that. That's pretty much, you know, there's not a lot of uses for it other than for benchmarking. But it's quite cool to chuck it in your system and see if you can get a higher score with PhysX enabled with a separate dedicated PhysX GPU. Anywho, that's my take on PhysX. Pretty much don't bother unless you've got a spare card lying around, in which case you might want to chuck it in your system if it's easy to do so, it doesn't require a power connector and rerouting cables and all that crap. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed my overview of what PhysX does and how it can be benefited by having a dedicated physics processing unit like this one here. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Bandicoot101. Like my Facebook page at Bandicoot101 and follow me on Instagram at Bandicoot101. Links to all that good stuff will be down in the description below, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you didn't like it, dislike it, tell me what I could do to improve. I probably could have included some actual benchmark footage, but this was just a spare of the moment video because I haven't uploaded in 2 weeks, and I've got my hands on a cool graphics card. But stay tuned for more computer builds, because I'm going to be doing some upgrades to a friend's system with a 1060 Strix in it, which is going to be pretty interesting because it's built, but there's 2 more additions we want to put into it, which are a bigger cooler and some LED lights before we actually do a video on it. Anyhow, I'll see you guys later, stay tuned, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video.